Hi guys, welcome back into a vlog with a dog. I'm sort of here with Tasha. There she is. She's been driving me nuts. I've tried to do this video like 3 times, and between her and my mum I just can't get it done. And there's Cassie. She's no bother. Anyway, I have decided, because I don't have a specific topic, that I would do the My Sweet Cupcakes tag with the 15 questions. However, as I've looked at my questions, I realise that I've written down 13 of them rather than the said 15. So yeah, that happened. We'll see how it goes anyway. It'll give me a bit more time on each question, I suppose. We can do that, think of it that way. Anyway, let's just jump straight into this and see how it goes. Okay, question number 1. When you are leaving the house, what is the one thing you cannot do without? That I'm going to say handbag for, which I suppose is a bit of a cheat answer because there's all this stuff in the handbag, but my handbag is like my bedroom that I take with me. It's got everything in there. I'm known to be a bit of a Mary Poppins with that handbag because I pull things out of it people just don't expect me to have in there. You'll have people say, oh, I really could do with a pair of scissors right now, and I'm like, yep. Got some screwdriver, yep, got one. Seriously, I have a screwdriver and a pair of scissors in my handbag. Don't freak out. Pair of scissors, just a little foldy pair of scissors on a keyring, and the screwdriver is one that you use to tighten up your glasses. Yeah, but they're in there. Yeah, I have them. I have everything. I have the whole world in there. So handbag, definitely. There's the usual things, you know, the phone and stuff. When was the last time you really cried? That would be last night. I cry all the time. I am extremely emotional and very in touch with my emotions, and I cry at the slightest thing. I was watching a film last night, that's what it was. It's a film I have seen many times before. It's one of my favourites. I'm into Lord of the Rings, and I was watching one of the Lord of the Rings movies because I wasn't feeling very well, and I thought I'll put on one of my favourite films. Probably shouldn't have put that one on because it was sad at the end, and I always cry at the end. And I said to my mum, I'm not going to cry this time, watch. And when it got to the end, I said, do tears in my eyes count as crying? And she said, yeah, they do. So I just thought, forget it then. And I just bawled, absolutely bawled at the end of the film. I cry for anything. What is the best memory that makes you smile when you think about it? Oh my word. Excuse me. I can't pick one. I have so many. Getting her is a good one. That makes me smile. So many memories from my childhood. Oh gosh, how can you pick one specific memory? I'm just listing a few. Getting her, the Star Trek convention weekend that I went to, playing by the river when I was a child, in the cornfield when the corn was higher than I was, the allotments where I used to go when I was in trouble. When I was a little girl, and my mum would tell me off, and I would go around to the allotments, and the smell of the hedgerows, and gosh, so many things, so many memories. I can't pick one. So many. What's the next one? Recent obsession. I guess that would be my doll collection. I have got a really obsessive personality. I have to keep on top of that. When I am into something, I am into it completely. At least I'm aware that I have that kind of a personality, and it's a good thing I never took up like drinking. I don't drink because that would be bad. I don't smoke. Good thing. I'd probably never be able to give it up. So I have a really obsessive personality. I remember getting into the show called The Midwife, the TV show, and I got the DVDs and watched all of season 1 in one day, and then the next day I watched all of season 2 the second day, and then repeated it. I really have a very obsessive personality, so I have to keep a lid on that. And yeah, recent obsession would be the Reborns, and I have to be careful there because they're expensive. Okay. What is your greatest fear? I guess we're talking deep fears here, not phobias. I've talked about my phobias. I have a lot of phobias. But fears, I guess, losing people, you know, losing people who mean a lot to you and things like that, more than anything. Yeah, that would be a big fear. What is your favourite car? Okay, that's a jump from fears to cars. Fear of driving. I've tried to learn to drive. Well, I've answered the question. I don't drive, but my favourite car, I like classic cars. I like the classic Jaguar. My dad had one. What was it? Model? What was the model? Oh yeah, I wrote it down. 3.4 Mark II Jaguar, and I like the E-Type Jaguar. My dad had the Mark II, like the huge one. They actually used it as their wedding car when they got married, my mum and dad, because it was huge. They had a silver blue Jaguar. Beautiful. I've seen the photographs because they couldn't afford to have that and me, so they got rid of the Jaguar and had me. But yeah, I like classic cars. What car did you drive when you were 16, or your first car? You cannot drive at 16 legally in this country. Sorry. And my first car, I haven't had a car. I cannot drive, as I've already said. I can tell you what I'd like to have as a first car. I love Volkswagen Beetles. I love Beagles, and I love Beetles. So I want a Beetle to put in my let's get this right. I want a Beetle to put my Beagle in, and I want to drive my Beetle with my Beagle in it. Yeah. See? Sorry. That's sad. But yes, I would love to have a Beetle. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied. I would like to have a Beetle. That would be awesome. I love little VW bugs. Who has made a major impact on your life? Just see where we're up to. Oh, still got time. Who has made a major impact on your life? That is a huge question. A lot of people. If you go look at my dolls and the people I've told you I've named them after, that would be people that have made an impact on my life. I mean, my mum, and my dad, although he was only around till I was 5, he's always been part of my life. Then aunts and uncles and people I've never met have, like the William Wilberforce. That's why I named one of my dolls William. I'm very much inspired by William Wilberforce, who was an abolitionist, fought to free the slaves, and he founded the RSPCA. And you know, I'm a great animal lover. Even her. Because when I got a Beagle, I learned a lot about animal cruelty. As you know, they used in animal testing, and so I gave up products that were tested on animals, and that led to me giving up meat. And yeah, so she had a huge impact on my life. You wouldn't think it, would you? So a lot of people. Okay. What did you want to be when you grew up? Well, first I wanted to be an actress and a singer, which I've kind of been a singer. You know, I've been in drama groups and been on stage singing, so I kind of did that a little bit. And then a photographer, and I really wanted to be a photographer. When we did our school, what do they call it, work experience, I went to a photographic studio and worked alongside a photographer for a bit, learning a bit about that. So I was quite serious about that, but it was one of those things that just didn't happen, because at the time, before digital photography, you had to learn a lot about mathematics and mixing developers and things like that, and I was just terrible at maths. But today, with digital photography, it could have been a lot different, but it's certainly a hobby. It's definitely a hobby of mine. What have you done most as a profession? That would be as a youth worker. Informal education is what I've done until the last few years. As you know, I'm a carer now, so I don't do that anymore, but I loved that job. I loved it. It was more than a job. It's a vocation. What What's your most recent embarrassing memory? I'm so glad. Recent embarrassing moment. I'm so glad it says recent and not all-time embarrassing moment, because I'm not sure I could share my most embarrassing moment of all time. But my most recent embarrassing moment was at a friend's wedding. She got married at Alnwick Castle, and that is where they filmed quite a lot of Harry Potter, if you've seen the Harry Potter films. And there's one scene in that film where they are, in the first film, where they are learning to use their broomsticks, learning to fly, if you remember it, and they're out on the green. And I'll put a little picture in of the green. If I can find one, I will put it in around here. I hope I've done it. Yeah, I was walking across that path on that green. The path. And it was a very windy day, and I was wearing a nice dress for the wedding with tights. And I was walking across there, and the wind lifted my skirt and blew it up over my head, my dress, and there were a lot of people around. It is a tourist attraction, so there were people there for the wedding and people there for the castle, and a lot of people got to see my underwear that day. Yeah, that was nice. That was great. And that's not my most embarrassing moment of my life either. I'm really not going to go into that one. What is your best quality? I think probably my sense of humour. I was asked that recently, what's my best quality, and I said my dog. And I got told off for answering that way by Georgie. Georgie told me off. So I would say my sense of humour. At your age, what is the greatest lesson you have learned in life? Really need to check what I'm doing for time for this. This is white on white, this timer. 12 minutes, okay. The greatest lesson, I would say I've learned about forgiveness and what forgiveness really is. And that when you forgive someone, it doesn't necessarily mean bringing them into your life and going back to the way you were. Sometimes you need to forgive people and let them go. What forgiveness is it's giving up the hatred, letting go of the hatred and the hurt and the bitterness and the anger, and just freeing yourself of all of that. But sometimes you have to say, it's all forgiven, but keep out of my life. I think the Bible sums it up best when it says not be like a dog returning to its vomit. Sometimes things go out of your life because they're not good for you, and sometimes people go out of your life because they're not good for you, but you should not hold on to hatred and anger and bitterness, because it destroys you inside. It destroys your own spirit and your own heart and your own mind. And so forgiveness is letting go of all of that. And sometimes it does mean picking up where you left off. I'm not saying it doesn't, but sometimes you just have to let go of everything, including that person. And that is something that I've learned in recent years, and I've learned how freeing it is when you can forgive someone, and how holding on to things like that, it damages you, even health-wise and physically yourself. And it's just the most freeing thing to learn how to forgive, and that is something that I've learned in recent years, actually. So definitely forgiveness is right up there. I mean, I've learned other things, you know. I'm quite smart. Now that is it. That is question 13, apparently, because I've only written down 13 questions, which is probably good, because I'm still on the 15-minute limit for YouTube. I haven't set it up so I can go on longer than that, so that's why my video is not going over 15 minutes. And so I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed my answers, and I hope you enjoyed looking at my dog's behind. The cat's face is there. Anyway, I shall catch up with you later with another video, whether it's a doll video or another vlog or whatever. So please take good care of yourself. Comment, like and subscribe. Comments are still disappearing on my channel, but if I can see your comment, I will reply. If you want me to subscribe to your channel, just comment below so I know who you are. And I will see you around in YouTube land. Take good care of yourself, and bye bye.